What if the very exercises you trust to protect your heart are the ones quietly harming it? I know that's not what you expect to hear, but as someone who's dedicated their life to heart health, I need to tell you something important. Especially if you're over 60, every move you make or don't make matters. Not just for your muscles or your bones, but for your heart, your life's engine. So let me ask, are your workouts really helping you live longer, or are they silently pushing your heart toward danger? You see, many people believe that more sweat equals more strength, that pushing harder means living better. But for the aging heart, that belief can be a ticking time bomb. And I'm not saying this to scare you, I'm saying it to protect you. As a heart doctor, I've seen far too many seniors walk into my clinic feeling fine on the outside, only to discover dangerously high blood pressure, irregular rhythms, or signs of serious heart strain. And what caused it? Not bad food, not laziness, but the wrong kind of movement. Too fast, too intense, too much for a heart that's quietly asking for care, not chaos. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 5 specific types of exercises that could actually be weakening your heart, not strengthening it. These habits are surprisingly common and often misunderstood. But don't worry, I won't leave you hanging. I'll also show you safer, smarter alternatives that support your heart instead of stressing it. Stay with me, your heart deserves the best. And mistake number 1, it's something I bet you or someone you love is doing today. But before we dive in, do me a quick favor. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that button and tap the bell so you don't miss any future tips designed just for your health and your longevity. If you find this video helpful along the way, type the number 1 in the comments so I know you're still with me. If not, type 0 to let me know what I can do better for you. Let's begin. 1. High-intensity interval training. HIIT and overexertion. The hidden threat, high-intensity interval training, or HIIT, sounds powerful, right? And it is. But for aging hearts, that power can quickly turn into pressure. Dangerous pressure. After 60, your heart isn't the same organ that carried you through your 30s or 40s. It's wiser, yes, but also more vulnerable. It doesn't bounce back from extremes like it used to. That's why HIIT, with its rapid, breathless bursts of energy, followed by short recovery times, is one of the riskiest exercise trends for older adults. I've seen seniors try to keep up with YouTube workouts or gym classes that promise quick results. They push themselves into breathless states thinking more sweat equals more success. But what they don't realize is that every gasp for air is a red flag. The heart is forced to pump harder and faster, and for many it simply can't keep up. Even worse, the damage is silent. You may feel lightheaded, a little more tired. Maybe you chalk it up to age, but inside your blood pressure is quietly rising. Your heart rhythm may become unstable. You won't always feel the damage until it's too late. One patient of mine, a 72-year-old man named Leonard, had started doing HIIT workouts 3 times a week. He felt proud, energized, but after just 2 months, he ended up in the ER with chest tightness and dizziness. Tests showed that his heart had been overworked. He didn't have a heart attack, but he was close. And here's the cruel irony: many older adults turn to intense workouts because they want to live longer, stay mobile, and stay independent. But the wrong kind of effort can lead to hospital stays, not health gains. So what's the safer path? Gentle walking, Tai Chi, light swimming. These may not sound trendy, but they're quietly powerful. They work with your body, not against it. They improve circulation, lower blood pressure, and strengthen the heart over time without causing shock to your system. Remember, in your 60s, 70s, and beyond, safety is strength, and sustainability is the real success. But unfortunately, HIIT isn't the only silent threat. There's another exercise habit I see all too often, and this one's hiding in plain sight. If you're still with me and finding this helpful, type the number 1 below. I want to know you're here because your health matters more than anything. Now let's move on to the next hidden danger. 2. Core crunches and heavy lifting when strength training backfires. It's common wisdom builds strength to stay strong as you age. And it's true, muscle keeps us mobile, balanced, and independent. But here's what most people don't know. Not all strength training is heart safe. Crunches, sit-ups, heavy weightlifting, these exercises are often praised for their core benefits, but they can create dangerous levels of internal pressure, especially for older adults. I'm talking about intra-abdominal and thoracic pressure, the kind that doesn't just stay in your belly or chest. It pushes up, presses inward, and demands more from your heart in seconds than it may be able to safely give. One man I treated, George, was 68. He started lifting heavier weights after watching a fitness channel for seniors. One afternoon, mid-rep, he blacked out. No warning, no pain, just gone. We later discovered a spike in blood pressure and signs of a minor heart rhythm disturbance. He was lucky. But not everyone is. You see, the heart in your 60s and 70s isn't just older. It's less elastic, the arteries may be stiffer. Plaque buildup may already exist. A sudden strain, especially when holding your breath during a lift, can cause a pressure surge that leads to fainting arrhythmias, or worse. And this happens to people who think they're doing everything right. They're not ignoring their health, they're trying to protect it. But they're using a method that no longer fits the reality of their heart's condition. So should you stop strength training completely? No, but modify it wisely. Use resistance bands instead of heavy weights. Focus on slow, controlled movements. Breathe continuously. Never hold your breath while lifting. And work with a qualified trainer who understands senior physiology. Your heart isn't a machine, it's a messenger. When it feels strain, it speaks softly at first. Don't wait until it screams. Conclusion to this section. So far, we've covered two major exercise mistakes that thousands of well-meaning people over 60 are making every day, pushing too hard and lifting too heavy. Both come from good intentions, but lead to dangerous outcomes when we ignore the changing needs of the aging heart. Your heart is not trying to stop you from living. It's trying to guide you toward a smarter way to live well. So let me ask you, are your workouts really serving your health or just your pride? Are you exercising to stay strong or just to keep up? If you've learned something important today, I'd love to hear from you. Comment below with the number 1 if this resonates, or share your thoughts and experiences because your story might help someone else avoid a hidden danger. And if you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe and turn on the bell. We've still got 3 more silent heart hazards to uncover, and even better, I'll give you practical tips on what to do instead. Coming up next, mistake number 3, and it's one most people never even think about. So far, we've uncovered how overexertion and the wrong kind of strength training can silently strain an aging heart. But what if I told you that sometimes the greatest danger doesn't come from effort at all? Sometimes it comes from the invisible, from something you don't lift, press, or move, but something you walk through every day without thinking twice. 3. Exercising in extreme temperatures. When the weather becomes your heart's silent enemy, exercise is often hailed as the miracle cure for aging, and in many ways it is. But if you're over 60, there's another layer to consider, not just what you do, but when and where you do it. Because even the perfect workout can become dangerous if the environment around you is working against your heart. I've seen this far too often, well-intentioned older adults stepping outside for a brisk winter walk or a quick jog during a blazing summer afternoon. Their goal is noble. They want to stay healthy, but they don't realize that the temperature itself, hot or cold, can quietly sabotage their heart's safety. Here's why that matters. As we age, our body's ability to regulate internal temperature becomes significantly less efficient. The internal thermostat just doesn't respond as quickly or as strongly as it once did. In cold weather, your blood vessels constrict to preserve heat. That might sound like a good thing, but for aging arteries already narrowed by plaque or under pressure from hypertension, that constriction forces your heart to work harder, much harder. Your blood pressure can spike, and you may not even feel it until it's too late. Now flip the thermostat. In extreme heat, the opposite occurs. Blood vessels dilate to help your body release warmth. Your heart beats faster to pump blood to the skin, trying desperately to cool you down. Add in the risk of dehydration, something that happens faster than most seniors expect, and suddenly the cardiovascular system is under intense silent stress. What's tragic is that many older adults interpret this stress as fatigue or brush it off as just getting older. But I've seen the aftermath: patients collapsing on summer sidewalks, feeling dizzy and disoriented after a short winter stroll. Their hearts weren't overworked by exercise, but by survival. That's the danger. Your heart doesn't need to run a marathon to suffer. It just needs to be exposed to the wrong environment at the wrong time. So what can you do? Choose comfort over challenge, especially when it comes to temperature. Find indoor environments with stable, moderate temperatures, your home, a gym, a community center. Always hydrate well before, during, and after activity. If you do head outside, dress appropriately. Layer up in breathable warmth during winter. Use light moisture-wicking fabrics in the heat. And most importantly, listen when your body whispers signs of fatigue, thirst, or strain. Don't wait until it screams. But while weather is an external challenge, there's another danger that strikes from the inside out, one rooted in the very style of movement many seniors choose. And this one can throw your heart and your balance into chaos. 4. Jumping rapid movements and sudden direction changes, the hidden chaos inside the aging body. There's something undeniably thrilling about fast-paced movement. It feels like rebellion against aging, like proof that you've still got it. Jumping jacks, stair sprints, burpees, quick-step aerobics. These movements may look harmless on screen. In fact, they might even feel empowering. But after 60, what appears simple can become surprisingly dangerous. Why? Because your body no longer responds to speed and shock the way it once did. I've watched proud active seniors try to keep up with younger peers in community fitness classes or follow high-energy routines online. At first, they feel fine, energized even, but within days or weeks, they show up in my office describing dizziness, pounding hearts, or worse, unexplained falls. It's not a question of willpower. It's biology. As we age, our nervous system slows down, our reflexes dull, balance becomes less reliable. Our arteries lose elasticity. That means every sudden movement, every leap, twist, or sharp turn creates a cascade of strain inside the body. Blood pressure can spike erratically. Heart rhythms may flutter or race. Oxygen delivery to the brain and muscles can falter. These movements don't just challenge muscles, they confuse the whole system. To a younger body, a jump is just a jump. But to an aging one, it's a storm of coordination, blood flow demands, and recovery pressure. And for anyone with even mild cardiovascular issues, known or unknown, that storm can lead to real danger. Irregular heartbeats, spikes in blood pressure, and falls that leave behind more than bruises, they can steal independence. The heartbreaking part, most seniors aren't doing these moves to show off. They're doing them because they want to stay young, stay strong, stay free. But the truth is, this real strength after 60 doesn't come from speed. It comes from control. From knowing how to move gently, not just how to move fast. From choosing balance over bravado, peace over performance. So what kinds of movement are better Tai Chi? Water aerobics, gentle stretching, even slow controlled resistance work. They may not look impressive, but they're profoundly healing. These movements stabilize the body. They calm the nervous system. They nurture the heart. They don't just avoid harm, they actively restore function. But even when your movement is safe, the timing of your routine could be silently sabotaging your heart's deepest healing process. Because sometimes the problem isn't how you move, it's when. 5. Exercising too late at night, when good intentions disrupt deep healing. At first glance, working out in the evening seems like a smart idea. The day's done, the house is quiet, there's finally time to focus on yourself. But if you're in your 60s, 70s, or beyond, this well-meaning routine may be stealing something vital: your sleep. I've met countless older adults who take a walk after dinner, who hop on a stationary bike before bed, who do light cardio to wind down. They're disciplined, committed, but they don't realize that even light physical activity too close to bedtime can trigger the body's stress systems. Your heart rate stays elevated, your nervous system becomes alert. The body enters a wakeful state when it should be preparing for restoration. And what's the cost? You fall asleep later, sleep less deeply, and rob your body of its most precious window for healing, deep restorative rest. For seniors, this is more than a nuisance. It's a health risk. Poor sleep affects everything from blood pressure to immune function to mental clarity. And for a heart that's already working hard, disrupted sleep is a quiet, accumulating danger. That's why I always tell my patients, let your body settle before bed. Let your heart slow down. Let your system heal. Try to finish all exercise at least 3 hours before bedtime. Use evenings for gentle stretching, meditation, or simply walking slowly as the sun sets. Your heart and your sleep will thank you. So while movement can heal and strengthen, timing matters just as much as intensity. Because when you move too late, when your body is ready to rest, but your mind decides to push you, maybe disrupting the very rhythm your heart depends on to recover. 5. Exercising too late at night. When good intentions disrupt deep healing. As we grow older, our sleep becomes more fragile, more precious, and far more vulnerable to disruption than we often realize. The internal rhythm that governs our sleep-wake cycle, our circadian rhythm, becomes increasingly sensitive to external cues. And late-night workouts, especially the ones that raise your core temperature or flood your system with adrenaline, send a confusing message to your body: stay awake, stay alert, just when it should be preparing to wind down. This subtle interference isn't always immediately noticeable. You may still fall asleep. But what's being compromised is the quality of your rest. And here's the part most people miss: poor sleep directly affects your heart. It has been linked to increased blood pressure, higher levels of inflammation, poor insulin regulation, and even irregular heart rhythms. Your muscles may recover with some rest, but your heart, it requires deep, uninterrupted sleep to heal, perhaps even more than your body does. I've met many seniors who squeeze in a walk after dinner, do a bit of light cardio before bed, or stretch just before sleeping, believing it's a sign of discipline and commitment. Their intentions are noble. But what they don't realize is that even light exertion too close to bedtime stimulates the nervous system, elevates heart rate, and delays the natural shift into deep restorative sleep. And so without knowing it, they trade rest for routine, recovery for movement, healing for habit. It's not that movement should suit, it's that timing matters. Aligning your activity with your body's natural cycles can make all the difference. Morning or early afternoon exercise supports better sleep, steadier energy, and more balanced cardiovascular function. By evening, your body is whispering, asking for quiet, for stillness. Listen, let your evenings be about slowing down, not gearing up. Because when you sleep, your heart repairs. And during your waking hours, that's when you have the chance to protect it in another often overlooked way. 6. A message from my heart to yours: the quiet power of listening. If you've stayed with me this far, thank you. It tells me that you don't just want to live longer, you want to live better. And now I'd like to speak, not as a doctor, but simply as another human being who has seen far too many stories end too soon. I've sat beside countless older adults, strong, kind-wise, whose lives were vibrant and full of energy. And then in the space of one decision, one routine, or one workout, everything changed. A fall, a heart event, a moment of pain that could have been prevented. And they all said the same thing: I didn't think it was a big deal. That sentence stays with me, because after 60, almost everything becomes a big deal. How you eat, how you move, how you sleep, how you handle stress. Your heart, after beating faithfully for you every moment of your life, is not invincible. It's asking, sometimes pleading for you to pay attention. Not from fear, but from necessity. You don't need to train like you're 30. You don't need to prove your vitality by pushing through pain or chasing extreme fitness. What you need now is awareness, kindness, consistency. There are no medals for overexertion, no prizes for ignoring the body's limits, but there is something more valuable. Waking up each morning with a steady heart, a clear mind, and peace in your body. Let go of the myth that more is always better. Start choosing smarter, not harder. Walk with presence, rest with purpose. Move in a way that honors your age, not one that fights against it. Because that is true strength. That is courage. That is what protects your heart, not reckless determination, but mindful discipline. The final beat: your heart deserves wisdom, not silence. Even as you embrace safer exercise and better habits, there's one more danger I must warn you about. It's not in the movements you make, it's in the moments you don't. It's the danger of doing nothing at all, of waiting, postponing, avoiding, until one day the cost of that stillness catches up. If there's one truth I've learned after decades in cardiology, it's this: the heart doesn't ask for much, but it gives you everything. It beats without needing to be told. It carries you through every emotion, every step, every year. But after 60, your heart needs you to listen, not to live in fear of it, but to honor it. The 5 types of exercise I've asked you to reconsider aren't bad. They're just not right for the aging heart. What once gave you energy might now leave you depleted. What once built strength might now invite strain. And that's not weakness, that's wisdom. It doesn't mean decline. It means discernment. Your journey forward should not be about pushing harder. It should be about moving smarter, breathing deeper, choosing what heals instead of what harms. Because your health isn't measured in sweat or speed. It's measured in the quiet strength of consistency, balance, and care. Let today be the day you stop punishing your heart and start protecting it. And if no one's told you this yet, you are not too old. It is not too late. And every gentle decision you make today adds life to your years and years to your life. So take that next step carefully, kindly, and with your heart in mind. These lessons weren't just meant to inform you. They were meant to inspire you to live fully, authentically, and wisely. Now I'd love to hear from you. Take a quiet moment and reflect. What's one thing you've learned today? And how will you apply it in your own life? Share it in the comments below so we can all grow together. If you found this video helpful, please comment the number 1 to let us know you're here. If not, feel free to comment 0. Your feedback helps us improve. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content that supports your heart, your health, and your journey. Thank you for watching. And here's to living life on your terms with strength, wisdom, and heart.